It's hard to say when you'll get your next job, right? But it is true that a lot of companies don't want to sponsor for a H1 because they're just not comfortable with the process. It is a process that may be straightforward, but involves paperwork and is a learning curve. So if you've never filed a H1 before for that employer, it seems like a lot of work. Uh, and there is also compliance issues. You have to pay the prevailing wage, you might get audited. So employers don't want to deal with all that. So employers who are used to it and who have done it might be willing to, but people who have not done it before might hesitate to. But the thing that you have in your favor maybe is that they may not find a US citizen or a person with a EAD or a permanent resident uh, to fill that job. If they're not able to, then they are forced to then file a H1, which is the case in most instances where people, are first-time H1B filers, employers are first-time H1B filers. It's because they can't find anyone who's a US citizen, or it could be that they don't find a candidate that's good enough as you, that's as good as you, right? So they are willing to go through the process no matter what because you're the best candidate that they have. Then you have to find a job while you're outside the country, which is maybe difficult because most employers require you to go through an interview if and maybe they're not comfortable with video interviews. If they are, then that's certainly a possibility, but they might want to do an in-person interview, in which case you're at a disadvantage. You could get a job with a consulting company because they don't care, but in order to get an end client or to be picked by an end client, again, they're looking for maybe in-person interviews. So if they're willing to do video interviews, again, they want you to be in the US. They don't want you to be taking the video call from India. That's also a restriction with some employers. So it depends really. Definitely your chances are less if you're outside the country versus if you're in the country. So you might want to consider filing a change of status to student status or visitor's visa status. That will give you some time to recoup, maybe find another job, improve your skills, etc., etc.